United Nations General Assembly is all set to start. One thing is clearly on the agenda, and that's the issue of climate change. As countries battle floods and wildfires, world leaders can no longer ignore the code red for humanity. United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres made it clear that countries must meet the US sustainable goals on climate to avert further disasters. A large part of the global body's goals dedicated to saving the planet. These are urgent action to combat climate change, climate-related disaster mitigation, integrate climate change measures into policy, build knowledge and capacity to meet climate change, implement UN Framework Convention on Climate, and facilitation of climate communication. UK Prime Minister Boris Johson also put climate action on the forefront as he arrived in New York. Johnson is co-hosting a closed-door meeting to push countries to act on the Paris climate deal, commitments ahead of the major COP26 climate summit.
This is a crucial summit, absolutely crucial for the next couple of months. It's only a couple of months now till the COP26 summit, and so we need everybody to focus on what's called their nationally determined contributions. That's the amount of carbon dioxide each country is going to cut. The UK is way out in front, or is doing very well. We've made a big pledge. We've already greatly reduced our CO2, but we need other countries to step up to the plate, the big emitters around the world, in the G20 as much as anywhere else. Now, you've also got to get developing nations to come to the party, to join in.
The Conference of the Parties, or the COP26 summit, will start in October, and hardly any participant is on track to meet its goal. As per the agreement, signatories agreed to keep global warming below 1.5 degrees Celsius, protect communities and natural habitats, mobilize funds to tackle climate crisis, and joint action by governments, businesses and civil society.
WION-USA Direct from New York with Susan Tehrani.
And with us on the broadcast is our correspondent Susan Tehrani, who has been tracking all those developments very closely, is joining us from New York, from right outside the UNGA headquarters. Susan, it's going to be a week ahead full of diplomacy, which will have far-reaching implications, not just for the Indo-Pacific, but for the entire world. Let's speak first about the climate action that has been outlined as a top priority by the United Nations Secretary General today, just a short while back, and with the emphasis being on how there is an urgency to act, and this issue can no longer be put on the back burner.
Absolutely. President Antonio Guterres has mentioned that in the very first remark he made as the 76th session of the UNGA officially kicked off its high-level week this week at the SDG moment, the Sustainable Development Goal moment, at around 7:40 a.m. local time with his speech that you talked about. We now know that roundtable meeting, the anticipated one that's being co-chaired by UK Prime Minister Boris Johson, is going to take place in about 15 to 20 minutes at around 11 a.m. local time, and he is expected to once again pinpoint the urgency of climate change and also talk about the targets that he hopes to achieve along with Prime Minister Boris Johson, and also call in the private sector to really hone in and take part as really he really pushes on this, but also, as we've been telling you and our viewers from the onset of our broadcast, that it's climate change on the one hand, but member states are really asked also and are eager to talk about their solutions on COVID, on the pandemic, on redefining the post-pandemic global economy, the healthier planet being climate change, and also ending the pandemic really at the forefront as well. Yeah.
Indeed, and we will continue to track all those developments. Thanks very much for the moment, Susan. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.